Hey guys, Grims and Runner back here with more games. It's going to be a TVT. Are you with us, Grims?
Yeah, boy, I'm here.
Alright, introducing the players. In the bottom left-hand corner, in the red, we have cShuttle. The level Terran player, and his opponent, the blue up here, is none other than Polt.
Loving the Korean in that chat, man. I can't read Korean, unfortunately, so we're going to move on from that. So yeah, TVT, man. Any word on the Heart of the Storm TVT stars?
Mech. Calling it mech. Mech here, mech there. Bio rarely being used, and I'm starting to get the impression that I should just transfer into just mech TVT, because, yeah, it's painful.
Sounds like that's where everything is moving to. The focus is on. And you can't really blame anyone for that, especially with the addition of those Widow Mines, man. They do some pretty sick damage.
Widow Mines, fantastic units at denying drops. Hellbat's just fantastic at denying drops on top of your mech, so yeah, mech definitely going to be pretty good. Alright, so it is going to be Starstation. TVT, probably might see some very, very aggressive 2-base attacks before we transition into the mid-late game.
Well,
so there is going to be a mid-late game.
Like we said in the previous video, Starstation, big and open map, so wouldn't be surprised to see both players go for like a very macro-oriented build. Perhaps doing some sort of harassment early on, although we do see cShuttle going for a refinery. And, okay, now we see Polt doing the same thing, except cShuttle's is a little bit earlier. So, possibly going to be seeing a mirrored build here.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be a 15 gas. Might see a reactor after the second marine on both of these, I assume they're both of these Raxes, or we might see Shuttle. No, both marines. Never mind. Supply Depot wall off, so wanted to deny as much scanning as possible. It is a 4-player map, so the odd chances that you can deny your opponent's scanning is very good. And, well, especially in TVT, if you can deny scouting of gases, then you are essentially in the dark versus a variety of builds that can attack you at any moment's notice, so it kind of forces you in a really awkward position, in my opinion. Terran player myself, I find not knowing can kind of be the bane of everything.
Well, we do indeed have a mirrored build here. It is going to be the double Marines here from both players, and I find this very interesting. I'm just running through my head trying to think what this opener here is a response to in the potential openers in TVT HOTS. What do you think?
We've got expansions coming up. Guys taken off of gas to kind of allow for that more influx of minerals.
I said, what do you think?
I think these, yeah, it's a pretty stable build. Reactor, man, it just allows you to get as much marines out as possible, can deal with some threats. Really fast Hellion builds.
What's it supposed to deal with? Do you reckon it's probably to deal with the large amount of Reaper builds that are coming out now? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't like a reactor build like this versus Reaper openings, so it's really kind of touch and play go. Yeah, double Rax builds seem to be becoming a lot more common in TVT with Reapers. You just can't deal with that amount of Reapers with going for the reactor. The reactor cuts into the build time of earlier Marines, and generally you'll have stacking on top of you about 3+ Reapers by the time your reactor finishes up and you're going on for like maybe your second round. So you'll have 4 Marines versus at least 3 Reapers, and they'll just take you out, go away, heal, come back, and it all just starts from there.
Especially on this map, if you have a look around the edges of the main bases here, it's just huge and wide, and it's just absolute delicious Reaper territory right there. It's definitely a map where Reapers could be abused on, but of course both players going for a, I guess, more safe against Reaper type build, even though, yeah, it's quite an open main. We do actually still have mirrored builds coming out here, so we've got factories and starports from both players. Except we have cShuttle going for Hellions.
Yeah, Hellions versus the potential of Widow Mine drop. So this is where both players are starting to deviate. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see cShuttle start going into Banshee play. He's going to get this dropship, then lift and land on top of the tech lab possibly, or this is just there to go for a faster stim. Either way is fine. Gonna make your units more durable in the mid-game. See what just happens. Medivac also coming out here for Polt. Polt's got his Widow Mines, bunch of units in production as well. Looking to probably go into bioplay by the looks of it. So, yep, 3 racks going up, factory, naturals down. Both armies kind of just missing each other, and Polt unwittingly going out with 1 Widow Mine.
He did see glimpses of that medevac the whole time his army was moving forward, but it doesn't look like he was paying all that much attention. Maybe he is actually, since he's now rallied all his units into his main, but that just could be because he doesn't want to rally them across the map here. We're going to have these Hellions poking the front. Ooh, but be careful of that Widow Mine, as Polt does have one at that front there. Meanwhile, in this base...
Yeah, he might just even allow this to do some... Oh, he's actually just going to drop it.
Wow.
There's going to be no movement at all. Oh, it does catch a nice big chunk of SCVs there, but putting a lot of them into the red, killing one. Very unfortunate Widow Mine there, but he does pick it up. He's now cShuttle over here doing an elevator drop. Now, this has been common since Wings of Liberty. It's still going to do a lot of damage. He has to lift up the Hellions right now.
Oh, this is pretty devastating here. Polt, I don't think he had enough there initially. Now we've got the addition of a Marauder in here, and he's going to be able to clean that up just fine now. So yeah, luckily bringing those units up from the natural. Of course, cShuttle pulling those units back. He's got 2 tanks now. Delicious to see.
Yeah, third tank almost... Yeah, third tank actually finishing up, or was it a tank for Polt? I believe it was a tank for Polt. Either way, both players look like they're transitioning into bio tank. Yes.
Bio?
Just had to double confirm whether or not we're getting double Raxus going down for Shuttle, but it does look to be the case. So this isn't too bad. We might even see a little bit more of a drawn-out game here, rather than a 2-base all-in from both players.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Fourth gas going down for cShuttle. That is a natural base there. Doesn't realise he's only got 1 SCV in his 3rd refinery there. Needs to fix that ASAP. Meanwhile, he's going to deny the building of this 3rd CC here. Going to siege up.
Polt was looking to try and defend that 3rd CC, figured he could do it, but with a lack of tanks like this, he definitely can't. Now cShuttle going up into the main, it's just going to continue the aggression. Both players trading blow for blow, it's really nice to see. And, I don't know, he's tucked himself nice and neatly with this little grouping of the base. He's doing some pod shots off on top of the barracks. He's now going to get in here, maybe do a stim, pick up a siege tank. No! Polt gets it away, starts the siege up. Polt's bio army moves on top of the tanks. His shuttle is set up and he takes them out.
Wow. And somehow Polt manages to defend himself against the army in the main. I was for sure thinking, cShuttle was going to do a bit more damage. Oh, there's medevac getting caught out. Wow. Another small victory for Polt. Nice to see.
Polt just playing this really well, and he's still at a supply advantage. So even with all the aggression that Shuttle's dishing out to him, he's still macroing through it significantly well. His 3rd CC now under construction once again. No 3rd CC being shown at all here for Shuttle. But, alright, as I said, another one goes down. So these players have a habit of doing this to me. I'll sit there and go, why don't you have this? And then they respond with, hey, we didn't know you're going to cast this game in the future, but we're going to build it right now. Just to piss me off.
It's Caster's Curse, man. It's Caster's Curse. Well, now Polt out in the middle of the map now. Wants to take a little map control. Stimming 4 Marines forward. Having them stop there momentarily. Of course, they're going to get healed up. Oh, he's going to catch out these Vikings. This is terrible for cShuttle. Oh, no. That's terrible.
Now what is he going to have to ward away medevacs?
Well, yeah, exactly. He's lost his air control. It's going to give a little bit more room. The Polt scans going down everywhere. Polt seeing those 2 siege tanks thinking, nah, I don't want to progress into that, at least just yet. However, he does have the potential for drops now that those Vikings are gone.
It does look like Polt's just going to see his map controller. He knows his 3rds a lot more further ahead than his opponents. Shuttle catching up now in supply, only a 4 supply increase for Polt. Double upgrades going down. +1-1's going to finish up for Polt, I think, faster than it's going to finish up for Shuttle. Shuttle's only going +1 attack, no 2nd engineering bay inside at all. So Polt's going to go into the mid-game with an upgrade advantage, and, well, left unchecked, this could possibly seal him the game a lot earlier than Shuttle would like.
Well, Shuttle moving out with 2 medevacs right here, going the long route. We have a Widow Mine coming out here. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, he's just going to burrow it underneath the 3rd base here. Ooh, and will he see this in time? The red dot goes down, and actually, yeah. So, if he didn't see that, he's going to be in for a bit of a surprise when he tries to land that later on.
Oh, and Polt with the scouting Marines sees the 2 medevacs on the right-hand side of the corner. Polt now dropping Shuttle dropping 2 Marines in response, sending the medevacs back, but pretty sure he'll double up and maybe go for another push. Sensor tower in side, not to mention Marine over the top of this Zelnaga tower, so Polt's got plenty of vision right now and any incoming attacks from that angle, but I don't know, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, of course, both players have been relatively aggressive, possibly Shuttle more than Polt. Polt mostly defending. Wow, look at this army coming out from Polt. It's pretty sick. 156 supply to 143. These medevacs have unloaded on the right hand side. I'm not sure what they plan to do, but Polt is ready and he's just gonna charge into this.
And yeah, he's pushing his advantage. Siege tanks siege up. No medevacs in sight at all for Shuttle, so he's really got to watch out. His units are not going to be able to heal up anywhere near as fast as Polt, so Polt's army is definitely more durable in this situation. He's got 1 tank extra, double producing tanks from both players out of 2 factories, plus 1 vehicle weapons on the way. Just double checking whether or not Shuttle's got any. No, he doesn't. Same time, he comes out as a mission. 2 dropships. They are getting watered away by a missile turret. A bunch of units being pulled into Polt's main, and Shuttle just getting deflected everywhere right now.
Yeah, Polt playing really well, being very, very map aware. I saw him use the boosters on the medevacs to try and scout where those medevacs are, but of course they were already at his base, and got watered off by the turret, so good job to him, of course putting down additional turrets here. And now we have Polt moving along the left-hand side, and I love this. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see him get aggressive on that 3rd base.
Yeah, if we look at it, Polt's map vision is incredible compared to that of Shuttle. So he's just seizing it, and he's holding with an iron fist. He wants to know what's going on, and he wants to know where it's going on. Not to mention, now he's pushing an advantage on 2 angles. He's flanking from the left-hand side. He's forced out he's moved siege position of Shuttle's tanks, and now he's pushing over here in the watchtower.
Yeah, this is pretty sick. Oh, this medevac, I don't know what that was boosted forward for. I think there might have been an accident there. Polt seems to have forgotten about his right-hand side army here. Love to see him do something crazy with that, maybe a drop. Not sure. The cShuttle's actually quite nicely defended here thus far, just looking at where all the turret positioning is. And it looks like both players are just postured in these aggressive and defensive positions so far. Meanwhile, friggin' Polt, man, 3 CCs going on, 1 already going to land at the 4th. He's just expanding like a madman.
He knows he's got his opponent contained, so moving on to the next stage of the plan. 4th CC going up as well, so I wouldn't even be surprised if he just either adds on a bunch of barracks and wants to trade armies with his opponent a few times, or he's going for his 3-3, so he's definitely has an upgrade advantage, but not for too long. Plus 2 level weapons going to finish up for Shuttle pretty shortly. Are we going to see a Sky Terran transition, or is this going to be a Marine tank battle to the death?
Well, we'll have to see, my man. We don't see any additional starports going down at the moment, but we'll have to see what Polt does. He might put down additional producing facilities soon. Meanwhile, we actually have cShuttle moving around, taking this watchtower again, and it looks like Polt just moving back in here, taking that map control once again, gonna take over that watchtower. And Shuttle now knows where Polt is. Is Polt going to run in here? Is he just going to force the siege? Oh, trying to sneak his way in. Oh, both armies stem.
Kind of a bit of a blunder there for Shuttle, getting a lot of volleys on top of his own Marines there from the siege tanks of Polt. And now we let the entrench wars begin. This kind of situations can get very dicey for both players. Marines still taking out the watchtower. Polt here with the Widow Mine denies all scouting. It does look like Shuttle's going to send out an additional Marine. He wants to get the towers, he wants to get map vision. A small squad of units now heading to the north, going to start denying some bases. Polt is just expanding like crazy at the same time.
I love this little squad here. Polt now knows that it's going there though. Oh, does he have anything to respond to it though? He does have Planetary Fortress going up. I don't think that's going to stand up against it. Meanwhile, he's just going to unsiege and leave that position for now. Oh, this base is just going to go down, I feel.
Yeah. Bunch of units being stemmed, but it's too late. The Planetary Fortress does get cancelled. And push back now. Shuttle looks look like he wants to evac out of here. 3 medivacs with the units, only picks up 2.5. Unfortunately, but Polt is kind of like sitting there as one of those people that do recipes on those kind of game shows, and it's like, here is a CC I prepared earlier.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, now Shuttle, for the first time in a while, with his big-ass tank and marine army, is actually going to go out on the map, take a bit of control here. Beautiful scan. Sees the entire army, knows exactly where it is now. Polt scanning over there for some reason, has no idea where the army is right now. He's going to back off, but it's now in range, and now the sieges are happening.
More decent little drop, does distract the units, pulls them back out, so he did force out a lot of marines to leave away these siege tanks, but he's not denying the bases, and Shuttle's now kind of walking and moving his army around the position, I feel, almost aimlessly. He's setting up a bit of a soft contain around these units. He's doing a nice drop here, cancels this CC once again, units stimming in to deal with it. Shuttle lifting up, he's not going to get away in time. One of the medivacs boosts away with 14 hit points. Other one, unfortunately, does go down. A lot of units, they're starting a small engage here. It's kind of a bit of a fight for territory.
And Polt with the momentary weapon upgrade advantage, and armor upgrade advantage rather, so any fights that happen, as long as they're favourable in terms of positioning, he's more than likely going to win. Meanwhile, we have a Watchtower fighting control for over on the right-hand side, and that mine finally does get denied as cShuttle's trying to take his 4th base here.
Yeah, another thing that's not going for Shuttle as well is he's leaving 2 satellite expansions unchecked for Polt. He's just sending mules to there. He doesn't really care at all. Not to mention, yeah, with the upgrade advantage he has, Polt is trying to just trade units and then slowly replenish them while he's transitioning into his Sky Terran phase, where Shuttle kind of feels the need to be a little bit more aggressive. He's trying to do these drops, he's trying to find holes in Polt's defenses. He realizes he's got so many CCs and he's kind of banking up at the moment, but I don't know, Shuttle's still got a bit of a while to get into this game.
Yeah, I don't think Shuttle knows about these outlying bases. Like he's... Oh dear. What happened there, man? You pressed the wrong button.
I took us back 15 seconds, it's okay.
That's okay. I was just going to say, I totally agree. I don't think he knows anything about these outlying bases, so Polt is pretty much just sending money into the bank for free. Of course, this 4th base here is getting denied constantly, and so Shuttle might think he's actually doing a really good job, but Polt's actually quite a bit ahead in the economic game. Ooh.
Oh, he might catch a bunch of these medivacs. 1 medivac goes down, 2 medivacs go down, 3 medivacs go down, a 3rd one escapes with 22 hit points, so that was actually a bit of a... that hurt, seeing that, so he's going to try and reinforce this position. This planetary fortress could be under siege quite shortly by some siege tanks. They are getting themselves up on the bridge. It's a nice position for Shuttle.
Oh, such a good position. These SUVs have to get out of there. There's no way that Polt can really take this army on. He is moving at least half of his army while he leaves the siege tanks over there sieged up. So, bit of a risky maneuver, I feel, but he's going to try and deal with this. Here we go, the siege up, stem forward. And it looks like Shuttle just can't take this army on. There's too much here. Meanwhile, he's trying to push at the front of Polt, but Polt just has too much fire going on, and he manages to defend both fronts. So well done.
Yeah, Polt just outdoing them on all angles here. A bunch of these unmarked medivacs just kind of chilling over the side. Shuttle is losing a lot of his durability in terms of his units. He's becoming very, very less anti-air, just more tank. Therefore, Polt might abuse this very soon. He's getting battle cruisers. He's 3 more in production, 4 more in production. And Shuttle just can't deny what's going on at all. He's put up this contain, and he still doesn't know about these outlying expansions, and they're going to come back and bite him in the ass so badly in the next 5 minutes, when all of a sudden you just, like, 10 BCs rock up and you're just sitting there with tanks and some marines. Not good.
It's going to be pretty devastating. I love how he's set up this forward sensor tower here. That's kind of pretty chill. I approve of that. Gets to see everything. Sensor towers everywhere, man. I love it. Meanwhile, a little miniature drop over here. The right hand. Oh, goodness. Just kills everything. It's all good.
Yeah, now Polt's even got enough armor to spare to move around the map. You see his Shuttle's going to try and come over here and deny another expansion. He's got a Watchtower also going up, and he's going to find this expansion that's been here for quite a while now. Minerals now down to 1,200 each. Let's see, but I think Shuttle might be able to take it now, even upgrades. And...
Wow! How did Polt manage to beat that army? Almost, rather. Of course, the tanks just overwhelmed him, but yeah, wow, I thought he would have died much harder than that. Wow, meanwhile, BC's just unsieging the enemy's tanks and just pushing forward here, wow. And now Shuttle realizes how much trouble he's in.
Yeah, Shuttle's got a huge tank lead right now, but that's not going to help him do too much. There's a lot of battle cruisers out in the field. We haven't seen any kind of panic starports going down just yet. Doesn't look like he wants to stick with this composition. More tanks in production. I don't think this is the right thing to do right now. Needs to cancel those and start making better units. Getting Terran vehicle plating level 1, but at the same time, how many BCs do we have on the field? We have 8 BCs with an additional 4 Ravens in production for Polt. So his Sky Army Terran's going to be massive. Big engagement going down here.
Huge engagement. Both armies just being traded. Wow, picking up the tanks and just dropping them on other tanks. Talk about a mashed tank potato.
I suppose when you've got that many tanks, man, you can kind of give them away for free like that, but Polt's still getting out on top of these engagements way more positive than what Shuttle is.
I'm surprised we haven't seen all that many Vikings being produced out for Shuttle. Really weird, just deciding to stick with Maths Marines and trying to deal with these BCs, but I don't feel like this is going to be the correct answer. Too many BCs out here.
You really force this kind of engagement. What can you do other than try and maybe force a base trade with a unit composition? But when Polt's also matching your unit composition and entrenching tanks in your...
Oh, wow.
How are you going to break it? I think Polt's got this. He's playing a phenomenal game.
Wow. Insane. And of course these tanks are just going to be eaten for free. Wow. Even just going to use your motor cannon, just whatever. Polt doesn't care. I think he knows he's won the game. Or at least he feels that way. Like he's taking out the medevac, and now he's just going to take out all these expansions and starve Shuttle out even more than he has already. Look at those banks. Wow.
Yeah, 2K 800 opposites attract here in this situation. Shuttle with the 2K gas and like no minerals at all. Polt with a massive amount of minerals, no gas. It could be interesting if they ever allowed like game trading. It's kind of like, I'm going to help you get some stuff on you need it. We'll meet kind of in the middle and duke it out a little bit more, but there's the GG from Shuttle. Polt taking the victory. Playing a fantastic TVT for you guys.
It was quite good, I have to say.
Alright, we're going to wrap it up. Links in the description bar. Like us on Facebook. We'll try and bring you guys even more and more games. Any other messages you'd like to convey to our audience?
I love you all.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm IXL's Run Amok.